Secrets will be shared with you. Only what we want to explore. You have no say over what I do in my time. I know all of your dirty secrets. You have been dishonest with secret for so long.
Secrets.
The secrets of the girls will always be revealed.
Well, well, well. I'm actually, y'all, we're about to do a Beyond the 11th Gate as promised, okay? Now, I've been asked to talk about this, you guys. And of course, this is the full moon. And by the time you guys see this, it's going to be out of the full moon, clearly. We're going to be on Friday. So I wanted to actually discuss something. And of course, the title of the video says Las Vegas Alien or Aliens. So I believe we talked about this when this first happened on my channel. And hold on. Like I said, I've been asked from both spiritual and non-spiritual people to address this. And so, of course, we're going to tap in on it. If you do not know, Beyond the 11th Gate is a little podcast that I do when I want to discuss things that are supernatural and or it seems to go over the comprehension of the general public. And we might touch on some things that could be controversial. And of course, after present, you could believe what you want to believe. You could think what you want to believe or think. But I'm giving my personal opinion. And I'm even going to say spiritual opinion on what I believe this is. Okay. So you can look this up. I was going to like copy and paste and edit all this footage. Excuse me. Edit all this footage on what exactly happened, right? And I said, you know what? I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to present the information, and those who are interested in, doing the research on it, they can. Because of course, going into copyright and all that good stuff, I'm not going to get into that. So, something that people have been asking me about is a situation that happened in Las Vegas, April the 30th. We'll say May the 1st, during the wee hours of the morning. Allegedly, a family in Las Vegas saw a ship or something land in their backyard. And I believe the boy who reported this and his family, because they only tend to say his name, Angel Kenmore. And like I tell y'all, I feel with this, and as we go along, I'm going to be tapping and I'm going to tell you what I'm feeling. I don't know if Kenmore is actually this family's real last name. if this family was sponsored. Someone said this family is Hispanic, Mexican, but I'm getting something with like Middle Eastern, something with like Middle East um, connections. And so either way, people are debating this. There's a whole bunch of podcasts out there of like UFO people, UAP people. And I always say I personally think that that community is just a little different. I believe that just as much as people believe in God and God shows up and show out, I think that believing in something creates some type of power. And these people truly believe in these beings. Um, why are these beings not coming to rescue them during this tumultuous energy that's been going on for at least the past, 14, 15 years? And so either way, I've connected it to escapism, but even deeper, I do not think that this situation in particular, any of the alien experiences they've had in Vegas, is anything more than demonic activity. I believe that so-called UFOs, aka aliens, or demonic beings that for a split moment, a glimpse of time, however you want to call it, when parallels cross, these beings are able to be seen with the naked eye. Going into Las Vegas, and it may seem like I'm going to be scattering around, so I'm going to try to really keep this short and minimal. Las Vegas have a history of heinous, sinful crimes buried around the area and even with inside the area. As you know, and I don't think I have the map here, but Las Vegas have different little districts or different cities within this area, like North of Las Vegas, Whitney, and Henderson, etc., Summerlin. And so there's crimes that have happened throughout this area. Now, I do want to say this, that I feel like there's an energetic source because that's a mountain region, right? That whole area there's Vegas is surrounded by mountains. You have all the elements there. I do feel like there's entryways and exit ways for energetic forces to come through. And because people claim Las Vegas, I do feel like Vegas could be a positive vortex place. And I'm going to say it is. It has positive energy there. I've had, the opportunity to go to Vegas several times, and Vegas to me, time slowed down. Vegas to me, I walked away. We had a group there, people who attended the group in person and some virtually, because everybody have not gave their, feedback on it. Had life-changing events, and it actually excelled. Just to name a few situations, when we had our Vegas thing, and we were actually celebrating, I believe it was the March of 2017. We were celebrating because I felt like there was something going on with the water. And so we went to Vegas and we did some stuff there. And energetically, people were getting the answers to questions that they either had a long time ago, and didn't know how to ask, or they just didn't want to ask. And so either way, people got their new homes. Some people got, homes gifted to them. Some people started their new company. Some people, got, they were in their field for like 20 something years, and they actually got offered a position overseas in their dream country for the dollar amount tripled of what they would have gotten here to go over there. So it's kind of like a staycation for them. There's just a lot of positive things that happened while we were there. Okay. And then coming back. So like I said, Vegas do have some positive energy there, but there's also some bad stuff there. I think there is some vampire or vampiric type of energy there. I think that people practice a lot of black arts there. And like I said, I won't go too deep into that because we're talking about Las Vegas alien experience. And so these dark energies that are being worked in Vegas, because there's already energy beneath that surface, and you have the energies within the mountains and the dams and all stuff, you know, it kind of feeds in on, and don't quote me, right? A lot of people have committed self harm there. 1970s, a lot of, heinous things. And of course, this is all reported. Crimes have happened. They found people, buried in the surrounding areas, the deserts, coming from out of Vegas, Nevada, coming into California. It's a long stretch of desert road. People been buried there. They've, dug people up in with shallow graves, etc. So there's just a lot of, nasty demonic stuff. And of course, where things like this happen, and we're going to say this, a city where there's a lot of sinful things. You have lust, you have adultery, you have murder, you have gluttony, because they have all unique buffets there. This is like a portal. Vegas is a physical portal. They keep saying New Orleans, but trust when I tell you, Vegas is the place for shapeshifters, vampires, and or demonic paranormal activity. We stayed there during this event, like I said, and we'll talk about it another time. And there were some very interesting things that happened. Okay. Even going into people I know that still lives there, very different things have happened. Okay. And so I do feel like this so-called alien stuff is a demonic activity cover up, and I feel like aliens is the only thing they could place it upon. If they just came out and said demons and these are demonic entities, etc., etc., I feel like people would either, no. I think that people would be in a strange state, right, of existence. I think that people would react in a certain way, especially they brought in proof that these are demonic entities. But we'll put the icing on the cake for me. And I told you, I believe we did a video about this when it first happened in 2023. I think that this story is fabricated by many, many organizations and many, many people, including the Kenmore family. I do feel like something did happen, but it is not a spaceship with aliens that came out the spaceship that come from other universes. Even going into cloaking devices, right? And this is all the information that's out there about this. What really, and y'all, I said this back in 2023. I said this all the time on my YouTube channel. Aliens are nothing more than demonic entities trying to physically manifest. And so you do your research on this particular experience about Angel Kenmore and his family having these alien activities in their backyard. People are describing demonic entities with cloaking abilities or cloaking devices. Not to mention, I believe this is about a year ago. Mind you, allegedly this family still have not relocated out of this home. But Angel said that there was demonic activity in this house after the alien visitation. So not only are we battling with deceased loved ones, ghosts, if you will, spirits, but we're also battling with aliens. We're also battling with the demons. We also battling with angels. Are the demons and the aliens fighting? Do they fight? And of course, these are just, questions I'm imposing onto the general public. Going into allegedly this family hiding because they were ridiculed into this being fake news. I want to say this, and if you know, you know, and if you don't know, you don't know. If this is a real event, they have people that really encountered certain so-called alien, experiences. They encountered aliens, and these people were like traumatized. They were so traumatized, baby, that some of them became vegetables. Some of them cannot sleep at night. Some of them cannot function in modern day society. Some of them don't want to be on no type of phone. They don't want to be around no type of persons because they're so traumatized by these out of world, quote unquote, beings coming into their reality. How is it that this boy, and like I said, these are questions that I'm imposing onto you all who believe in this foolishness, believing that these demonic entities are actually aliens, because we know that aliens is a code word for unknown and or foreign beings. Can we talk about it? Why, instead of these individuals speaking about publicly going to go seek help because they're having problems sleeping at night, they're having problems functioning for what they saw? Because, girl, listen, and we're going into tapping into energy. These people are very scary people. Their energy is very much like, oh my God. Something happening in your backyard, whether it's daytime or nighttime, you're packing your shit and you're going. Now, allegedly, they wanted to relocate and they have yet to relocate, allegedly, which I don't believe that to be true. I think that there is something going on. If they're not completely out of the house that they're in, they're living in two different locations. Okay, they're living somewhere and they're staying there. But I don't feel like these are aliens or what people are saying are aliens. I think that all these alien encounters are all demonic influences and or astral projection of some type of government experimentation. Like I said, I get there's about 3 or 4 organizations on this and many things like this. And also going into like I said, this being a demonic situation, not foreign beings coming from another world, is allegedly these alien experts used AI to identify these alien beings. AI is also demonic frequency. So of course, AI could tell you what these aliens are doing because they're on the same frequency. Of course. Man created this technology with the influence of the spirit world, as they did with music, as they did with recordings. We have streaming with the help of demonic influences. If we're going to be direct and honest, as I said before, God is not telling any of his true people to get on Facebook, TikTok, IG, or YouTube and discuss anything about him. Because this domain is not his domain. This domain is not Yahshua's domain. This domain is not the supreme God's domain. These are humanly platforms, designed platforms with the influence of the demonic realm. Whether you believe that or not. No angels had their hands on anything AI. No angels had their hand on anything technological. For those who claim to be tapped in and gifted, ask your spirits, where did this technology come from? Because it's not new. It's been here. What we think is new, they've had this stuff before y'all, before the world ended many times. Everything that we do, and now we have AI music. We have AI, listen, I ain't knocking nobody's hustle. I'm just saying. You had a woman who Zanaya Monet, anything with an X or Z, y'all, is demonic. Zanaya Monet. Zanaya Monet, like Xanax. That's the name of a demon, by the way. Zanaya Monet is an AI artist that signed a $3 million deal. Not a 1 million, not a 2 million, not a 4 million, not a 5 million, not a 6 million, but $3 million deal. $3 million deal. All this is symbolic. And yes, it still connects to the Las Vegas quote unquote alien, aka demon. So once again, of course, these people could use AI to see what these beings are looking like on this video footage that Angel Kenmore and his family uploaded to the internet, and the body cam from the police officers. Of course, AI could tell them what it is because they're the same. Come on in here. They're the same. And like I said, if anybody is out there believing that these beings are coming from another world and the government just don't want to admit it, I advise you to repent. I advise you to do some cleansing. I advise you to protect your crown, because all they need is you to say, I believe, I believe, I believe, and they fucking you up. We don't need to relive James Manfields. We don't need to relive a whole bunch of other firm believers on dark energy. Can we talk about it really quickly? Because we're having a Beyond Whatever Gate conversation. So I've only heard of 2 people in real life, real time, that had demonic experiences. And I'm going to say 2 people. Other people can tell the story, but 2 people. So one of them alleged that they were very self-harming. You know, they were in the mind of self-harming. They just got offered this job. This was like years, girl, before I was even born, but they told the story. And basically, of course, people testified to this. And so they literally, was feeling overwhelmed, and they were feeling like they wanted to do some harm to themselves because they felt like so much was going on. And if they, took this position, or got this money, that they couldn't go back to their hometown because people would want what they got and they would take them out. And they were afraid of that. So they're like, bitch, before somebody get me, I'm gonna get myself. And as they're driving towards, I believe they were on their way to someone's house, right? And we'll say this. We'll say A and B. A is the boy, B is the girl. So they're driving to B's house because B allegedly wanted to have a sit down with him because B felt like something was not right. B was like, something is not right with A. And so what ended up happening is A ended up detouring. And when A was detouring from B's house, all he could remember is that he zoned out. And in the zoning out moment, something appeared inside of his car, but it came through the windshield. It appeared on the passenger side of the window, and it's looking at him as if like he's looking at himself. So he's seeing this energy, but he's also seeing himself through this energy. And this energy was taking form, and he's going. And literally he hit a tree, and by him hitting that tree, it snapped him out of that. Of course, he was not injured, but it snapped him out of that. And he walked away from there. Of course, to change his mind. He did not, self-harm himself. He is still alive. Okay. And there we go. The second experience, okay, once again, he was in a self-harming situation. He wanted to end his own life. And this person was favored by, we're going to say, a high frequency. And so he stooped down into that lower energy, and that lower energy was about to get his ass right together because he was on his way to take himself out anyway. Okay. The second thing happened, I want to say I was 2 years old. And everybody, was having a party. Of course, there's alcohol. Of course, there's smoking. Of course, there's cursing. Of course, there's gambling. This is a setup for demonic energy to come through, right? Okay. And if you don't know, now you know. Okay. And so, literally, everybody is in here in this space doing something, and they're hearing like tapping noise. So they're like, turn the music down. Maybe it's the police. Maybe it's the neighbor reporting. Maybe it's the neighbor, knocking on the door to say, turn your shit down. So they turn the music down. They're hearing the tapping again. And they assumed that it was coming from the front door, but it wasn't. Right. And so this place that they were in had like a foyer, and then the door, the foyer, which is right where the door is at, and then you come in, there's like a little family room, and then to the right there's this like den type thing, and then you go straight, and then that's the room that they were playing in, but it's like around the corner. So they go see where the sound was coming from, because they looked at the people. There was nobody at the door, nothing at the door. There was a shelf that had a big ass pot on it. And this big ass pot, because of course people helped this person move into this place, it took 6 grown men to lift this heavy ass pot. Okay. And this is just one thing that was on the shelf. They literally had this pot of other items on it. Mind you, there was a lot of people fighting, cussing. People have left out, because they got offended. I think somebody there pulled a knife out on somebody or pulled a gun out on somebody. It was something along those lines right before all this shit happened. Like, it was hours of this going on. What ended up happening was when they all went in there, or most of them went in there to go see what the hell was going on. So like, what the fuck is this tapping coming from? This big ass shelf lifts off the ground. Now, although there was smoking and drinking going on, there were some sober people there. Because everybody, don't drink and smoke that was there, in my family. Everybody don't smoke and drink. But for the most part, everybody was smoking and drinking. Okay. Smoking weed and drinking and shit. And then, of course, being, tired and all that. So there was a lot going on. But some people there, they were not. They were sober. And these are the ones that actually gave because, they called the police. They were like, what the fuck is going on here? You know what I mean? They didn't know what else to do. They're like, bitch, what's going on? What the fuck? Could you imagine that? And that whole shelf lifted up, not too far off the ground, but it lifted up off the ground, and it swung 50 feet away from that wall to where it was at, and it landed face down on the ground, and everything on that shelf broke. At that point, the party was over. At that point, everybody was told to leave. Even the owner of that place ended up leaving. And that's how that happened, right? And of course, this was demonic tea, because even after that, like, they end up moving, and I think that place ended up getting knocked down too. Like, it is not standing right now. That whole complex got knocked down. And so, once again, these are demonic teas. And even going into this as well, I'm not going to say this is a demonic experience for me, but I did live in a haunted house as a kid. We moved into a haunted house. I was probably like in the 7th grade. And this was a temporary house because we were trying to move into another place, and we had to move here temporarily. And it was in a rough part of, my hometown. And this area, a lot of people got killed in the 90s and early 2000s. Okay. Black gangs, Hispanic gangs, and Asian gangs, they had a bloodbath, and then they were cleaning it up around this time. But because you were cleaning it up, there were still remnants of energy there. So this house was already like kind of spooky and shit. And not spooky like to where I'm scared of it, because I'm not scared of no ghosts. Hello? Baby, I'm not scared of ghosts and spirits and all that. They don't scare me. But it was just weird shit going on. And so either way, and I had my first out-of-body experience in this place too, by the way. But what ended up happening was they got a Ouija board. And they brought a Ouija board into this house, y'all. And this Ouija board, 2 things, kept spelling out this name in particular, right? Kept spelling his name out. And they were like, oh, it's fake. Y'all playing, y'all playing, y'all. We're kids in the room. We're not hearing what's going on. But prior to this, y'all, we're seeing these little tiny like elves or like gnomes, like shadow things around my fucking house, y'all. And they'll be like at the top of the sun. It was just crazy, y'all. Like, I believe I told y'all this story before, but it was just crazy how you would see these. And these things were like so bold because everybody would see them. And so, long story short, they end up throwing away this Ouija board. And when they threw away this Ouija board, it's like this Ouija board took all this energy with it. They threw away this Ouija board and literally it gets thrown into the trash can and the trash man dumps lifts the thing up and it's in there. Like nobody could have jumped in there and took it out. After that, things started going down and people are like, hey, that house is haunted. And, I befriended somebody like 4 houses down and they're like, yeah, when we go, out of this area, we go across the street because they never walked on our side. It would always be across the street. There was like a cul-de-sac. They would always walk across the street. And they're like, yeah, we don't walk nowhere near that place because of the spirits. And so we're in the backyard and we're digging up shit, y'all. That's what kids do. And we found like chicken bones and shit back there. And of course, people are like, yeah, that's dark shit and don't be messing with that. And that's before I knew that Asians did witchcraft and stuff too. And so I literally had a dream that night, right? This was like a week after the Ouija board. I literally had a dream that this Asian family, and I could see their face so clear, that they had these babies, these twin babies, and it's like they folded one of these babies up and like stuffed this baby like in the wall. But the wall in the physical realm was a closet, a walk-in closet. And it was my mom's room. And so I noticed that in my mom's room and it was always cold. And so anyway, I don't want to get too deep into the detail, y'all, but because it was a lot that went on that transpired and stuff. And even me like always feeling sick and not feeling well and stuff. Y'all, it was real, real crazy. But when I tell you gorilla spirit is real, when I tell you the gorilla spirit is real, the gorilla spirit is real. These little gnomes, bitch, like, honey. Now they were saying these things don't harm people. I don't think they wouldn't harm us because, of course, we're protected. My ancestors, they did things in the blood. You know what I mean? We, like I said, we need to touch on that. But it was just a lot of weird stuff. And like I said, I don't think that was a demonic experience, but I will say it was a abnormal one. And that's one of many. Okay, I just want to point that out. So I believe that anytime that something is set up, and it'll be interesting to even know if anybody know where the Angel Kenmore family live at. It'd be interesting to know the history of that land that they were on. It'd be interesting to know the history of that property that they're on. It'd be also interested into knowing who and what goes in and out that place, because they're not just going to go there, y'all. These demonic beings are not just going to show up to this house and hide. Girl, it took time for that police to come. You think they were like, we're going to sit here and wait for the police to come? Like, girl, what? So like I said, I'm just putting all this out here. Any type of alien story that you hear about, you can equate it to a tale of a demon. And if you're really tapped in and you want to know what these demons are, and of course, we're not going to do it right here, right now, because it's the full moon energy. Because, we could definitely tap in and give out some names. And baby, you can see for yourself who these demonic entities are. But you can call out and you can see what these energies are. These are not other dimensional beings coming here. Compared to them, they said there was an alien race out there, and I do believe there is, but I believe that this firmament and this water protects us from outer beings coming in and us going out. That's just my personal in-tuned belief with that. There's ways of getting out, gateways of getting out, but unfortunately, we have too much of a fascination with the things that happen on this playground known as Earth. So we keep cycling through here and we keep coming back. But why would these superior beings want to play around with a civilization of people who are still sexist, homophobic, and racist? Now, I know that goes over a lot of people's head, but why would an advanced civilization of beings be so concerned with children? No, infantile, no, embryo, because that's what we are, girl, compared to the hierarchy. When it comes to the hierarchy of intelligent, spiritually awakened civilizations, humans on the planet Earth would be embryo. And that's probably me being cute. That's probably me being respectful. We still fight over people's body that we're not even trying to be with. We still concerned about people's hair, what they like, what they don't like. Oh, I don't deal with black people. Oh, I don't deal with white folks. Oh, we don't deal with genomes. Like, what would these advanced civilized days, these advanced beings do with us? What's so exciting about us, girl? We have one genitalia. If you're nasty, you might have a split up genitalia. But what would be so fascinating about us, girl? We behave like animals. We procreate. I mean, can we talk about it? So, what would be their obsession with coming to Earth to spy on us? Because that's what these people be making it seem like. I'm going to spy on these humans, these baby embryo staged humans. I want to see what they're doing. I want to see, baby. They have millions and millions of emotions, and they only display a few of them: joy, happiness, laughter, sadness, depression, anger, resentment, and shame. There's millions of expressions when it comes to emotions, and we only display very few of them. Oh, I can tell he's mad. Oh, she looks happy. Oh, she's kind of in between, so she must be having a manic moment. That's all you hear people talk about. Nobody's talking about, oh, she looks content. Oh, she feels welcomed. She feels thankful. Oh, she looks like she's in a state of gratitude. Like, nobody discusses that. So, like I said, for me, because I think that I can comprehend and I can see kind of like a God complex of what it is and what it really ain't. What it is and what it really ain't. What differentness do humans have on this earth that's different from any type of advanced civilization in another place, in another realm? I mean, girl, these people could travel. Allegedly, this is a story. They can travel across solar systems and shit. Girl, we can't. We're stuck on Earth. Well, I mean, can we talk about it? So that's where I'm at with that. Respectfully, I'm always open to agree to disagree. I'm always open to have a intellectual discussion. Alien stories are nothing but demonic stories. These people are using demonic coding, demonic energies to try to open up time warps and other dimensions. They're not trying to tap in to see if there's other life force on planet Saturn and all that good stuff. Girl, they don't give a fuck about that, girl. They're trying to tap into other dimensions. They're trying to tap into other dimensional beings. And that's where it's at. So no, aliens are not real in a sense of these are like beings that are coming through with blue skin and big old black oval eyes, and their skin is cold and they don't have any genitalia. Aliens are nothing more but fallen angels in the context of what your religions on this earth talk about. These are people or these are beings that are the damned. These are the misfits. And it takes one little, I believe. Yeah. And that'd be another thing too, y'all. I used to watch videos on, as a side note, like in the 70s where people were coming out, like the Tods and stuff, y'all. You know who you know. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. But the Tods and stuff, and they would talk about how these people would be like in basements and stuff. And they would be like recording and like putting energy into the recordings and even going into like how music is recorded on certain vibrations and stuff. You don't think that they always knew if aliens were actual real? Like if beings were coming from other planets to come here, you don't think that they've always known that? Why would they be obsessed about opening up frequencies and stuff? Why would they be more concerned about tapping into frequencies and creating instruments to open or to house certain frequencies or vibrations to affect people? Why they need you to all be on the same mindset or wavelength to manifest certain results? And I want to leave y'all with that as a homework. If you are a believer or you're not a believer, look at the platforms that allow people to discuss things. Maybe they were threatened to be taken away, but they're allowed to mysteriously hack phones. They're allowed to mysteriously display stuff. Because, one app in particular, I'm not going to say the name of that app. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but I'm not going to because, of course, people are going to say, oh, this bitch hated it. Listen, I didn't even have a TikTok. I just had the app on my phone. And they were sending me fucking alerts that someone I know is on TikTok, and those people I actually knew. And I'm like, bitch, I didn't find it to no motherfucking TikTok. The app was just on my motherfucking phone. How y'all know I may know that person? Are y'all looking through my shit? Hello? And then you have the so-called hater in office who was going to ban this app, and then he decided to allow the app to stay. But you know why? Because that app is able to use many technological energies. And that is one of many platforms, including YouTube, that they can actually send energy and receive energy because you're giving it energy just like it's giving you energy. So you're talking about, oh my God, I found out a new way how to make pancakes, and the way that you show it, that's how my Nana did it. How is that new? How did you not know that? I thought that was I thought everyone did it like that. But either way, I digress. Either way, but you're interested in that. And then it's taking your likes and your energy like, oh, I'm going to talk about it. Oh, I'm going to get on my platform and talk about it. Bingo. It's an exchange of energy. And you're feeding this system. And so now they're advancing. Now they're advancing, girl. Now they out here, girl. They're going to be having TVs that can talk back to you, walk with you. They're going to be having a lot of interesting things that's going to be coming about within the next 15 to 20 years. And, hey, girl, they don't got to pay y'all. Y'all free test dummies. So kudos to that. And the concept of aliens, which are nothing more than just demons posing as extraterrestrial beings, when these are actually demonic frequencies. Get into the demonology, and I'm not telling you to practice this, but definitely study the hierarchy. Definitely study demons and the legions, and start to make sense about it. When people say there's an alien, this and that, look up their terrain, look up their location in the world, look how far away from this so-called experience that they happen is some type of government lab and or military base, and that's it. Anyway. Let me see who's in here, and I'm going to be going. Come on, Coco. What are you doing? Yes, I think that aliens are demons, girl. Definitely, they are. Yes, they are. The Bible says that these demons will have advanced technology. Well, you said it. The Torah. And of course, we know that the Bibles and these scriptures are earth-based religions. But wouldn't God know about aliens? God is warning you about everything else, locusts and shit. Wouldn't God tell you about aliens? And there's these beings that will come from outer space and they will act like they're your creators, but they're not. Where's these scriptures at? Hello? Hello? There are several types of alien species demons that have been here for ages. You said it. because this is the devil's domain. This is the devil. People keep mentioning hell and stuff. Hell is not going to exist until the final coming of Christ. If you believe in that concept, if you believe in that, when you die, you don't go to hell. There will not be a hell until, can we talk about it? Until Christ come back and open up the pit. The pit allegedly is the abyss. Can we talk about it? It's a dark place, honey. And then hell will come about. And to really even go into it, hell is a state of mind. Hell and the lake of fire is two different places. But like I said, you can't teach people who don't want to be taught. So, yes, there are different species of aliens, different species of demons, and you're using it interchangeably, and it's true. Yes, these demons look different. They have tall demons, short demons, fat demons, ugly demons, feminine demons, demons that look like dogs, demons that look like deers, demons that look like bats, demons that look like humans attached to a roach body. There's different species of demonic energies, just like there's different species of aliens. But what they want to do, and this is what they're hoping to do, they're hoping to get you comfortable with the fact that there's another type of being out there, or different types of beings out there. So now you will openly worship it. Have you noticed since aliens have been the discussion that you're seeing religion fall apart? That's not a coincidence. Have you noticed since aliens have become a thing, and alien this and UFO, there's an alien encounter, they're seeing all these aliens in Miami. There's a lot of pastors that have been exposed for being homosexuals and pedophiles. Like the Christian church is following because they're trying to impose to you all that you should be connected to aliens. You should be worshiping and venerating these aliens, aka demons. You out here praying and casting out the pit. I rebuke you, Satan. I rebuke you, devil. And the same ones that are doing it out here doing devilish things because it is aliens. It is demonic energies that they're talking about. And they're going to try to impose it onto you. Well, I mean, we haven't seen God, but we definitely know aliens exist because they have all this footage. And that's why the people are saying that this Angel Kenmore shit is a hoax. You got people that are paid to come out and say, no, it was real because I'm an alien expert. Or girl, bye. And so you slept with an alien before? You actually met an alien before? You actually sat down and chatted with one before? Bitch, bye. I'm an alien expert. I have a device that tells me and it looked like it was real. No, bitch, you're a part of the problem. You're a part of the problem, babe. You're entertaining the devil, don't even know it. Ain't no way you're a Christian, you believe in aliens, honey. There's no way. Now that's the problem. You're a Christian, but I believe in aliens. Okay. You're a Christian, but you believe in Elon Musk, X-Rocket and shit going to outer space and going to Mars and shit. Where in the Bible did the Bible say that that's going to be okay? Where in the Bible did the Bible says that you are going to be able to travel? Don't worry, my children. You're going to be able to travel to Mars and shit eventually. Hello? And that's what I'm saying. They play with y'all because y'all spiritually dumb. And that's okay. And if it applies, it applies. It doesn't, let it fly. I'm not calling all you spiritually dumb. I'm saying the ones that are claiming to be Christian, like they were doing that abduction shit. The rapture's coming. Praise the Lord. And I'm be on the toilet. And if I fly up out that toilet, y'all know that rapture means abduction? Do you know that people have already been raptured off this planet before, allegedly? Do you not know that rapture means abduction? To take. Do you know that? Hello? Do you know that? Do you not know that raptor or rapture means to be taken or to be abducted? You had Christians, so-called Christians, which I could bet my top dollar that they're paid by the government somehow, some way to get on a motherfucking TikTok and to act like, well, y'all brothers and sisters, we're going up the other side and you're going to be in a toilet and that toilet going to, girl, your body ain't leaving, girl. Ain't no way Christ is coming back in your pedophilic energy. Ain't no way Christ is coming back in your hateful homophobic energy. Ain't no way Christ is coming back in your hateful racist energy. God is not coming back, girl, to rescue you in the vibration that you've been conditioned on for the 100 years. Girl, it needs to be years of peace before that rapture come. Hello? But because you're so egotistical, and I said a lot of us, we need an ego death. Mankind is so egotistical that they think they got all the answers from God. They so egotistical, they think I'm the chosen one. I know for sure we're going, because we're all Christians. Bitch, and you sitting on camera with your lashes done. Where the Bible that said that fake lashes is okay? Because it said that it said that hoodlums and heathens wore mascara and eyeliner shit. Mama sitting on here full of gluttony and all, girl. That's not a two, girl. Overly eating, that's a sin too. One of the sadly Devon sins is gluttony. Bitch, bigger than all big out, and I'm not talking shit. I'm just speaking my truth here, bitch. Because that body gonna be clean if you claim to be a Christian and you need to have your temper right for God. Mama sitting up there, 600 pounds plus, with a face full of makeup and extensions for the gods, talking about the rapture's coming. She cannot wait to go, and she looked like she just finished eating some hog mugs and shit. I thought Jesus put the demons into the pigs. Maybe that's why y'all like pork so much. And pork is in everything. Huh. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Yes, you're right. Come on in here. I know that's right. Come on in here, Coco. Demonic frequencies. Ow! Demonic. Often pop stars be putting that in their music. They get people right together. Yes, they do. Yes, they do, honey. Ungodly as fuck. You said it. But they be the first ones to try to tell y'all, I don't deal with homosexuals because the Bible speaks about it. There was a girl up on YouTube, which I think is called, well, I'm not going to say her name because, bitch, if she needs to go, we can go. Had a hair full of weave sitting around in this posh, decorated home, talk about, I don't deal with homosexual men because the Bible tells me not to deal with them. And that's a sin. And I'm trying to live a holy life. And of course, I comment underneath that video, y'all. And this is like 2 years ago. And I said, but the same God that told you to leave those homosexuals alone because you're trying to live a godly life also told you to leave the lashes alone, leave the makeup alone because you look like a prostitute and you look like a cheap one at that. She was not giving Summer Walker energy. She was giving cheap ass prostitute girl. And there's no shade with that. And on top of that, you're on YouTube, baby. If you're so godly and so Christian, girl, why hasn't God blessed you with a real life job? Why hasn't God? You think God wanted you to be on YouTube? Allegedly, this is a gay-friendly app and stuff. You think that God wanted you to be on YouTube and to show them your life and shit? I thought God spoke about being modest. I thought the Christian Bible talks about being modest. Being modest. Showing off your house and your car is not being modest, babe. Showing us what you ate for dinner is not being modest. That's not modesty. Y'all got a lot to learn. But that's why I said this is why God is toying with y'all and playing with y'all, because y'all not really tapped in. I think I've met maybe a handful of real Christians my whole life. The rest of you are charlatans. The rest of you are cover-ups. You're plants. Okay? And that's it. Okay? I will listen to radio. A couple of private artists there straight up satanic. You said it, honey. Okay, the Most High. I know the right spirit is talking. Come on in here. Ow. Abaddon. Come on in here, which is also abandoned. Hello? Abaddon is a spirit of abandonment. And if you don't know, anytime somebody has abandonment issues, can we talk about it? Can we type in on this demonic? Because see, you got to meet a demon with a demon. What are signs of people that suffer from abandonment issues? People who suffer from abandonment issues, and these are just some of the signs, is intense fear of being left, difficulty trusting, jealousy, people pleasing. And I said that a lot of people people please. And that's why I don't have many friends because you have abandonment issues that you don't want to work through. Difficult, sabotaging relationships, lying to people, mistreating people that love you. The people that would do the most for you, those are the ones that get the short end of the stick. Codependency, emotional instability, low self esteem, a pattern of unhealthy relationship dynamics, often stemming from childhood trauma that parental loss or divorce, leading to anxious or avoidant behavior. Can we look at what avoidant behavior is? What is avoidant behavior? It says that it is any action or inaction taken to escape or postpone unpleasant situations, emotions, or thoughts. So a lot of these people will actually, a lot of these people actually, honey, they don't, honey, they get, listen, procrastination, it's a lot of tea here, honey. It's a lot of tea here, honey. Avoiding real conversations. They suppress their feelings. See, girl. So you said it. Abaddon, abandonment, that is a spirit. Oh, come on over here. Over abandonment. And this is why a lot of people got problems. Hello? Hello? Can we talk about it? Hello? Ruler of the Black Pit. I know that's right. Come on in here. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, the spirit is working. Oh, Coco Curry was banned and their comments was removed. Y'all, you seen it right here live on. Listen, hello? Where my motherfucking bell at? Hell no. Girl, excuse me? Y'all, listen. Girl, where that bell at? Yeah, hello? Yeah, bitch, let me go in here with my angels. Hold on. Y'all saw, girl, girl, you see what's going on up in here? You see what's going on up in here? Y'all hear? Seminito, Ganesha, Mama Tron, Oshun, ancestors. Ow! Kick them out now. Their spirits are not welcome here. Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Zakael, Sansael, Isabel. Keep them out now. Oh, yes, come on in here. They're not welcomed up in here. The bees of the south, the bees of the north, the bees of the west. They're not welcome in here. Lady Guadalupe, the Holy Spirit. They're not welcome in here. No, 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 no. You're not welcome. These aliens are demonic. And that's it. Girl, kudos to y'all who believe that these aliens are actual beings and that you're not under a spiritual attack. Okay? So that's it, y'all. Bye for now. And I will see y'all again very, very soon.